This is a quick recording of our new Kickstart that is an agent builder, a virtual assistant creator, working with Llama Stack. So let's get started and try it out. So for one thing, you notice it drops you into a chat right away. I have 3 different agents I can interact with here. Tech support agent, sales agent, procurement agent. Let's ask the tech support agent a couple questions, like how do I replace Windows with Linux for my laptop? Let's see if it can answer that question. So you can see the question comes in, goes over to the assistant, the agent that was created and configured. We'll show you how to configure one of those in a second. But it has a RAG vector database that is already attached to it. It can also have MCP servers attached to it as well. So let's see here. Here's a step-by-step guide that talks about how to replace Windows on your Tech Gear Pro laptop. So this, in fact, does come from the private data that was uploaded, because I can tell based on the information in here. All right, so how do I replace Windows with Linux? So that's my tech support agent. Let's actually go to show you how to build an agent real quick, an assistant real quick. I'm going to hit config. I want to basically then say I need to create a knowledge base. I want to create a new knowledge base, and let's call this one the HR knowledge base. Call it version 1. Let's give it this embedding model, and the provider, we'll use PG Vector, and we'll call it HR. We're going to use a URL method, and the URL I have is over here, so we're just going to copy and paste that in. And so I have the URL right there. That's specifically just a PDF document out on GitHub, and I'm going to hit submit, and let's see how this works. All right, it says unknown. But that is because it's kicking off things in the background. If I come over here to OpenShift AI, you should see, there we go, a HR pipeline that it should be off and running, or pending in this case. Going to be scheduled hopefully before too long. So it's got to fetch that data from the URL. It's got to go through the process of ingesting it, creating the embeddings, creating the vectors, putting the vectors in the vector store. So if I come over here now and hit refresh, we should see it running. And the pipeline, in fact, is running. So it is off and running, and we can come back to that later. Okay, but once a KBase has been created, you can also then create an agent associated with that. So we'll come back and create the agent once the KBase is done. Let's go back now, though, and chat with some of these other agents that we have. Like here's the procurement agent that's been selected. My favorite question there is, what are the max approval limits for purchasing? So let's try that. And again, this question is contextually assigned to the agent, in this case the procurement agent, a specialist focused on procurement. And you can see there's the procurement analyst is 10K, manager is 50K, 250, and a CFO, CO over $1 million. And just so we understand that, I'll actually bring up the original source document for this. Let's actually bring that over here to make sure we have it right here. And there's a table embedded here. There we go. You can see those, in fact, were the limits for our policy for, the type of role that you have there. So it did get that question correct. Let's also ask for another question. Let's go talk to our sales agent real quick. Let's talk to our sales agent. And let me see here. What are our discount approval guide requirements, right? So a sales policy is there has to be discounts approved by appropriate sales managers within the sales organization. Let's go see how that plays out. And I'm going to see if I can find the source document for that one also. Okay, there we go. So discounts must be recorded in the CRM. Good. 10% by the individual sales rep, 11 to 20 by sales manager, 21 to 30 by sales director, and above 30 VP of sales requirement. Let's go look at the source document, and let's see if we can find that information in here. Okay, there we go. So greater than 30% must require VP of sales and finance department. And you can see that's exactly what it says there. So these are the source documents that I had, but they were created, made as PDFs and uploaded and ingested just like you saw me do earlier. Let me go back over here to config. I'm curious to see if my knowledge base still says running there. It does take about 15 minutes or so, depending on the amount of documents you've ingested to be configured, to be ingested and placed in the vector database. I want to go back to my tech support one though, because that one actually has a number of different documents and some other things we can ask it. As an example, like let's ask about a specific product, right? So the Cloud Sync product, I am having trouble with Cloud Sync and Camtasia. I'm recording this video via Camtasia, and Camtasia produces very large files. Let's see if it can actually find the Camtasia document, Camtasia troubleshooting document, and give me some valid answers there. I'll also find the source document for that. Let's see if I can find it. And dun, 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 dun. Okay, it's still thinking. Hopefully it comes up with an answer about working with my Camtasia files. Visit the official, check the Git classing status page, verify storage quota, check file size limits. Let me see, I got the source document here. Let's see, test connectivity, storage quota, file size limits. So it does seem to summarize the steps associated with that. Okay, so again, our different agents defined here. Those agents are defined when I say create new agent. I basically give it the agent a name. I give it a model. In this case, this is all working off the Llama 318B model. Give it a prompt. Typically, you are a helpful expert, but use the supplied context. Different tool groups you would identify with, and then of course, if you say RAG, you would as a tool, then you would also apply the associated knowledge base there. But I want to pause here and let this thing finish running. Let me go over here and actually monitor it here, and then we'll come back and set up that agent. But we'll pause the video for a second. Okay, let's get back into this. And maybe I misspoke earlier. This is my pipeline, my ingestion pipeline that is pulling in that document that I gave it, that PDF document I gave it. So you can see it fetched it, stored the documents, again, created the embeddings, created the vectors, put in the vector database, PG vector in this case. If I come over here now, we see it says succeeded. Okay, so we now have our HR Kbase in place. There's some information there. We can go look at it. You can see that it did pull it in from that PDF file there. And let's go create an agent now for it. So we're going to create the HR agent, and we're going to select a model that is the Llama 318B instruct. You are a helpful HR expert. Use the provided context to answer questions. So the context, of course, being our RAG context there. You can see there's a web search, RAG. There's an MCP for weather there. I'm going to hit RAG because I want to pull from the Kbase. So an agent basically has a definition, a tool, and a prompt. And then, of course, it has appropriate knowledge. So if you think of it from that perspective, an AI agent, again, name, model, prompt, what tools does it have access to? You can think of those as in terms of read-write tools, depending on how you want to set up those tools. And then, of course, a knowledge base. So I'm going to hit submit here. Agent was created. Go back to chat. And you can see there's my procurement one. And there is the HR agent now on the list. So let's ask an appropriate question. What is a summary of our health benefits? So this is going to hopefully pull from our unique data set that is in that PDF document and not the overall internet answer for health benefits. Because if you just ask a large language model about health benefits, it will give you a generic answer that it's created from its training data off the internet. But we want to see if it actually understands that we work for Fantico here, and we have some very specialized benefits like a life-size statue of employees crafted in Belgian chocolate. If I go open up that source document over here and look for the word Belgian, yeah, you can see you get a life-size statue of yourself crafted in Belgian chocolate. So that's how we know it is using our unique data. You can see there's some other fun things in here, like a cafeteria that serves dishes from across the galaxy. You really want to work for this company, right? Because they do some really fun stuff. Depending on the questions you ask, you get some really fun health benefits there. But that is a demonstration of how you actually see that these virtual assistants, these agents, can be created by simple configuration of using a knowledge base, MCP servers, and of course just giving that agent a definition and a name based on the prompt that you offer. All right, that is that Kickstart. I'll provide more information in the description below.